Welcome back, people. Well, another fishing trip. Off to the boat now, walking down towards my pontoon. It's absolutely silly o'clock at the moment. It's 3:30 in the morning. I have to get down at this time just because I've got a tidal pontoon out there. So the plan is, it's a flatfish day. When I say flatfish, Plaice and raise. That's what I fancy going for the day. Going to go to some old haunts that I used to go to years ago down in the Selsey area. Right, I thought I'd bring you back just to let you show you what I'm seeing at the moment, currently on my way to the venue. So I've got the radar sounding and got my track line on, the autopilot's following my track line. We're currently just coming up to Selsey, which is about 2.5 miles away, somewhere around that, to the north of the screen. If you look at the radar there, you can see on the left hand side you've got what is red blobs, if you like. That's the land on the left hand side, and the very bottom left there, that's a navigation buoy behind me. Currently nothing in front, as you can see. There's nothing there. Just put the sign on, just take that off. There we go, that's taken off. There's the boat obviously going along. Currently we've got about 6 miles go to the venue. There's what I can see outside. As you can see, the dawn is just starting to break. Can't see a great deal really, to be honest with you, but this is where the radar helps, obviously, to pick out those marker buoys and pot buoys, especially down in the Selsey sort of area. Loads of pot buoys and alike sort of thing. So you really got to try and be careful out here, especially when you get nearer Selsey and the boulder bank, where all the potting boys put their pots, the old crabs and lobsters. I'm going to go through the gate at the boulder, and then there's another about 3 or 4 miles after that to the venue. So yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully the fishing will be just right just as we get there. Hopefully the tide will be just under the knot, which would be ideal for drifting for the Plaice. And if not, then I'm going to put the pick in and see if I can pick a Plaice out, and I'm going to probably bung an uptider up for a ray and see how we go. Would you believe it? I'm just setting the camera up and the gear up and getting everything all ready. Next thing I know, I'm hearing the rod being slammed around the back of the boat, and here it is. I've got something on. So the bait is squid. The way it went off, I got a feeling this might be a smoothhound, you know. It absolutely bent the rod round and flying the rod all over the back of the boat, because I'd never put it in its holder, because I was just sorting out the back of my canopy. Anyway, let's just see what we've got. So this is the uptide I've got here, and the other 2 rods I've got down tied with worm and a little bit of strip of squid, and I've had a little nibble on one of the rods with the ragworm, but nothing as yet. But let's see what we've got on here. It's not giving a massive fight, but I don't want to bully this up at all. The tide is still ripping through here. Sorry if I'm puffing and blowing here and sniffing and that. I've not got myself together at all. I've got the drag set fairly light. Right, okay, let's get the net. It's always difficult on this boat doing netting on your own. It's quite high-sided, but it is a smooth hound, and we're in. We've got it. Let's just get it on the deck and sort it all out. Right. Okay. Right in the scissors, so that's quite nice. Let's T-bone it off. So there we are. First smooth hound, a nice one. I'm guessing around about the 6-7 pounds, somewhere around that. Beautiful fish. It's a good sign, really good sign for the season this is. So let's get it back and see if we can get a rate next. I thought I'd show you quickly what rig I'm using. So, a big old lead, 9 ounce at the moment. And short, running Plaice, very short, only around about 6-7 inches. Obviously the good old traditional black and green beads with a little spinner, ragworm, just a normal swivel and a link. I'm going to bounce this at the back of the boat, see if I can tempt one of those places, and then I'll bounce it further back from the boat and then gradually bring it back to the boat sort of. I'm constantly sort of working it up and down as well. Tends to work. Once this tide stops pulling so hard, then I'll just up anchor and then go for the drift. That way you get a lot better results normally and cover a better area as well, because there's only so many fish in a particular area. So, and not only that, if you're on the drift, you can find them. And once I do start to find them, I then plot it on the plotter as well. And then you can determine from that plotter on all the X's and marks and the fishing symbols, you can see where the place is sitting and lying and being caught as well. I mean, this particular mark is when you drift it. You start off in the rough. You normally end up with sort of pout wrasse, and then you go into sandy patches is where you pick up the Plaice. And then you can end up in a bit of rough again, and then you start picking up the rash again. So that's when you know where you are on the drift, where the best place is going to be. And as soon as obviously you're drifting and you're getting close to one of your X's with your mark, you know there's a possible chance of you picking up one. And yeah, so see what happens. Dawn's just broke, the sun's coming up, lovely day, force 2 winds on the northerly. For local people in the southern area, most people use Chimet, which is a live database system, giving you wind speed, direction, wave height, sea temperature, numerous other bits and pieces. A real good data system to use for live stuff and looking back as well. So let's get it in the water. Looks like I've got a little bit of a nibble on the other rod at the moment. So I'll put that one down and see what's happening. This one here I've got on the breakaway weight sort of thing, so I wanted to keep this one tight to the boat. And it is tight, there we go. Feeling as if it goes to, yeah. I reckon this is a dogfish. Yeah, the good old dogfish. There it is. The good old dogfish never fails, does it? The old dogfish, but nevertheless, it's always good to see. It's a bad day if you're not even catching a dogfish around here, that's for sure. But let's get it back. About a pound, just over. It feels nice in that sun, you know. You can feel the warmth behind it, even though we're still in the early of spring. It's you can feel the warmth in it. And let's get this all baited up again. I've only got really small rag here, really, so I'm just loading that up with several small rag. Quite a bit of tail showing as well. Yeah, that needs a bit more adding that side. Right, so let me show you this rig here. So we're going for wishbone, spoon, and a breakaway weight, just to hold it tight to the boat. Why we've got a bit of a quiet spell here now, I just thought say that you won't obviously see me wearing a life jacket too often on my boat. I need to get around the front to do the anchor and the windlass and all the rest of it. And I've found that I'll get caught up in it, sort of thing, as I go round the straps and the rest of it. Even though you get the nice snugging ones, they do tend to snag, and I've got hooked up a little bit round as I've gone round the side of the boat. So I tend not to wear one, but it's to hand in the cabin, literally within reach. But what I'd also do as well is invested in one of these, which is a PLB. Handy sort of thing to have if, God forbid, you did go in the water. You just it's floating as well, so just pull it out, pull out the aerial, and push the button. And what that will do will send out a distress, giving you the location of where you are. It's already on the database system who I am, where I live, next to kin, and all that good stuff. I always tell my wife where I'm going to go roughly, and generally midday-ish or somewhere around about that is just let her know how it's going and where I am, sort of thing. So because you never know what may happen out here. It can come out pretty snotty out here at times, and it's a massive dash to the harbour, sort of thing, to get out of the weather. And sadly, people lose their lives out here. So I try and do my best out here and keep safe, and obviously enjoy myself while I'm out here as well. That's what it's all about. So it's down to you people, really, how you feel you need to be safe. I do recommend life jackets if you can wear them, and do find them comfortable. This time of year, you're not going to last too long, to be honest with you, in that water. Really not going to last too long. Well, what a surprise. Just had. Oh, there we go. first dab. I ain't had a dab in years, so that's quite nice to see. So I'll get it back, see what happens. Well, maybe there's a few more down there actually, because I've had a few little nibbles, so that's maybe what they are. I might have to scale down the hooks a little bit actually. So let's get this one back. Yeah, that's flying back. That's. Get the old hands wash. Someone's come to join me. Anyone recognise that boat in person? Yeah, it's Wayner. Wayner's out here as well. He's all inch of our fishing marks. Wayner is. He's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare he is. But anyway, good to see him out here. You calling my boat a gym palace, eh? Cheek of it. Never mind. Anyway, we'll touch base with Wayner a bit later on, see how he's getting on. So I'm on the drift now. We're drifting at about 0.3 knots, somewhere around that, 0.4. Very light winds, and got two rods in the water. One I'm just bouncing along as the boat goes past, and this one I'm just sort of jigging it up and down like that, and then leaving it. Get a bit of line go, and just jig it. Just give it a couple of like that, up and down, then leave it. And let the drift go again, and just give it another flick like that. Just jig it so the weight bounces up and down on the bottom. Tends to tease them, tease the old place. Used to be full of mussels around this sort of location, but talking to the local divers, they've mussels have been overtaken by the starfish. The starfish come along and just basically blanket over the mussels and pretty much destroy the mussel beds, really. Apparently it's been like this for a few years now, but the divers haven't been down here this year, obviously, and I don't think they went last year, so you never know. They may return the mussels, and likewise the place is sitting on the mussels or around the mussels. That's what they like to eat. And over the years when I've fished here, they've had big old mussels sort of like that stuck in them, you know, in their guts. They really do take a big old mussels. You wouldn't believe how big of a mussel a place can have. It must sit in there for weeks before it dissolves. But it's a nice time to fish now. Hopefully we'll have a nice place, a real nice one, sort of £3, £4. That'd be really nice, wouldn't it? They used to get them down here. They did used to get them down here. I believe the biggest one down this neck of the woods heard of was £8, which is some place, isn't it? You've got to admit that is one big place. Well, it didn't take long, boys. There's the first place, about £1, something around that. Look at their lovely eyes, hey, look at them. Spots, lovely spots, real nice thickness to this one as well. I can't feel any mussels, but it's jam-packed. It's absolute jam-packed in its gut. So I'm going to keep this one because I do like a little bit of Plaice, to be honest with you. Hopefully more to come. Right folks, we're on the drift. I've gone further up the bank and see how we do further up. It's sort of top of the bank is around about a 20-foot mark. As you probably see, look, I've got a couple of pistols in my hands here. Because it's quite snaggy, and I want to fish with 2 rods. I want to keep control of them all the time. Just so when you do get in the snag, you just ease it out, or you give it a bit of a directional move somewhere else, and it sometimes comes out and sometimes it don't, sort of thing. But not only that, you can feel that bite detection a bit more. The hardest thing is determining the difference between the bumping of the lead along the ground, or the bed I should say. You know, you get that sort of feel on your finger, and then you after a few bites
you just get to know the feel of a fish. It is different, only slightly, but it is different, and you just get to know that after a while. So you sort of keep striking when you think you've got a bite, but actually it's just your leg bouncing around. So just be mindful of that. You know, don't keep just reeling up to go like that, thinking it's a bite. You'll know when it's on there, sort of thing, and you'll feel the weight as well. If you pull back into it, you'll feel the weight of the fish as well, sort of thing, and then it really will give you a bit of a fight, and then you sort of really know then. But we'll keep at it. I'm drifting down from the, say, around the 20-foot mark, somewhere around that, and it drifts off down to the sort of right at the very bottom. It's around about the 50-foot mark, but most of them are coming around, or used to come around, I should say, the sort of 30-foot mark, somewhere around that. As you've seen, I've had one. I'm yet to have a few more Plaice, but it's early days, and we'll just keep going at it. Well, drifting's finished. It's gone too fast on the drift now. We're at 1.2 knots, somewhere around that on the drift. So just the one Plaice on the drift. You don't get long on the drift sometimes here. An hour and a quarter, maybe something like that, and it starts to rip through the opposite direction to what it was going. So back on the anchor, got one on the up tide up there. So I'm just gonna flip the bail on. This one here, I've put a breakaway weight back on, sort of thing, so I can put it towards the bottom of the boat, nice and tight. And the far one on the side there, I've got a 6-ounce lead, and I'm just going to bump that back now and see how we get on. You never know, do you? You never know. Might pick up one of those smooth hounds again, you never know. But it's a good underlet mark as well, this Plaice, so I'm hoping for an underlet. That's what I really want as well from this Plaice. But it's been a good start. I'm happy with that. Hopefully the later part of the morning and early afternoon will produce as well. Let's see what happens. Well, I've had a little bit of a knock on this one. This is the one with the breakaway and the spoon with the wishbone. There's a bit of weight on there. I reckon the dogs are going to start to show a little bit now. Just tighten this drag up a little bit. Yeah, I would say that's the dog by the look of it. It's going to the back of the boat. Yeah, there it is. Good old dogger. No doubt we're going to see a few more. Tide's starting to run a bit. Let's get him aboard. Right in the scissor, which is quite nice. Another dog, sort of similar sizes, all pretty much the same size around here, really, to be honest with you. But there we go. Let's get him back. They fly down there, don't they? Those old dogs absolutely fly down there. I couldn't have asked for a better day. It is like a mill pond out here today. Makes a change for me. I normally get the rough old days. Let's get this all baited back up, and hopefully some more fish to come. point on this rod now. Non-stop it's going to be. Oh, there we go. It's finally realised it's on. Absolutely brilliant. How funny is this? Oh, gotta be so careful. I've only got small hooks on this lot. And with only fine wires. Well, they're starting to come, they're getting a bit bigger. Obviously the places have been maybe a little bit lazy today, they don't fancy on the old drift, they fancy a bit of dormant stuff, but again, nice and chunky, nice and fat, really good condition. I'm going to give this £1.5. Yeah, nice to see, absolutely nice to see. Just had another one of these little beauties. Starting to come in thick and fast at the moment now, but I'll put it back. But they're absolutely annihilating my hooks. I mean, I've only got fine wire, and you can see that. You can see the bend on that. Lucky to get it in, really. I mean, I'm having dabs down there earlier on, so I'm a bit reluctant to put a bigger hook on, really, too much. But if they're catching those sort of smooth hounds, I'm happy with that, really. And if I lose a few smooth hounds because of the hooks bent, I'm not going to be too worried about it. But it is getting thick and fast with the old bites. It's great, it's brilliant. It's nice to see, actually. It feels like it's all coming together. Well, the tide's running full bore at the moment, but I'm picking up dinky little Plaices at the moment. I've had a few of these now. It's coming on the spoon wishbone rig with the breakaway weight, maybe because it's holding dormant a lot more so than just a lead weight. I'm picking them up, but that is a small Plaice, but that will soon be a 3 or 4 pounder, hopefully. Another smooth hound to the back of the boat. Well, I've just pulled in my upsider. No bait indication whatsoever. I just thought, you know what, it's got a bit dormant on this thing. And lo and behold, what's turned up? A nice ray. Makes a change. Just going to get it in now. Oh, that's a beauty, that is. Oh, there we go. Let's get out of that. There we go. A lovely ray. Just what I've been after. I knew there was a few rays around. That tide's coming down now, so hopefully we'll see a few more. Nice spotted, that is. So I'll just get the hook out and get it away. So I'm going to uptide this. I normally just hook the hook over the one of the legs of the weight, and then I'll just put it outside the boat like so, and just a gentle cast up tide. Let the line pay out. And I don't know if you can see that on that rod there. There's a little bit of a knock on that one at the moment, so this could be promising. Oh, that looks like a dogfish to me. Let's see what comes of this. I'm just going to ease into it. Yep, something on. Feels like a dogger. Yeah, it is. It's a dogfish. I had a few of these now. I'm hoping that with this tide slackening, that we might start to see the Plaice come about again. So there we go. Another one of the old dogs. Let's get him back. Use the old T-bar. And he's away. Nothing wrong with that bait, to be honest. I think I'll get that back straight in the water. No point putting any extra on there, really. It's all good. Here comes Wayno in his dory. He's been to the end of the world and back. I don't believe he's had a very particularly productive day today for himself, but he did say he's just doing a bit of wrecking, really, just to see what's out there, see what's going on. But absolutely flying along there. He's looking good there, Wayno, in the old dory. Great. It's picked up again. Both rods are now knocking with inquiries. I've got one on the uptider that's inquiring, and I've got one on the downtider with the Plaice gear on, sort of thing. So I'm going to let those materialise a little bit. I don't want to be too hasty, and hopefully, you never know, I might pick up another Plaice. The tide's changed round. It's now going towards the west, the tide. The wind is coming from the west, so basically the tide's trying to push me that way and the wind's pushing me that way, so I'm pretty much almost dormant. I'm literally at 0.2 of a knot, which is great, so that slows the drift right down. We're probably going to get that for the next half an hour or so, something like that. So hopefully before I have to shoot off, I might get maybe one or two more Plaice. I was hoping for the underlet to turn up before I come back on the drift again, but it didn't turn up, so never mind. That's my next mission, I reckon, is to get myself an underlet. But in the meantime, let's get back into those Plaice and get the drift going. Enough cold on my nut. I don't think I should have shaved my head. Well, finally ended up with a couple of Plaices for the table, which I'm very pleased about. Nice to see. So I had a cracking day in the end. So I had smooth hounds up to sort of 7. Plenty of dogs. It was absolute dog city. I was having 2 at a time on the wishbone rig. It was getting a nightmare. Some dab. What did I have? Also, the spotted ray. And yeah, really good day. It's just one of those days that really all come together. The weather was good, the tides were right, the fishing produced. It's now time to go back home. I've got about an hour and a half steam back home. Make sure I can get the boat back on the pontoon. So, tight lines everyone. Get out there, go enjoy yourself, and let me see you next time.